Nigel, good morning. This is Chris back here. I want to apologize for not being in touch with you sooner. I was actually laid up with the flu last week and just starting to feel a little bit better here, so I'm getting back into this now. Um, as I mentioned before, I do this work for a number of industries and all different things, of course, and you're going to see that here. I don't have anything that resembles what you're seeking for equipment qualification or calibration and things like that. But what I hope to do is walk through some previous work that I've done for others and just highlight some of the functionality, the appearances, and the reporting capabilities of Microsoft Access, just so you can get a feel for what you might want, right? And just keep in mind, I mean, this is totally customizable, so you're gonna end up with something that you like. Um, for each of these guys, I mean, these are all satisfied customers, and I did what they asked for them, and this replaced some other method that they were using, whether it was paper or Excel sheets or something like that, right? So they've been happy with this. Anyway, let me just start here with this. So this Grub's Takeaway. This was a fast food restaurant delivery service kind of thing, and they wanted a way to enter their orders and then go back and review, do some analysis on how. So you see, this is an example of the dashboard that they wanted to see that has their orders sorted out by different categories: store, day, week, time of day, and zip code. And then over here, they can go ahead and they can make their selections to search for specific orders, or they could do it by date range, however they prefer. Right? So this was all because they wanted to do some analysis to find out when their orders were coming in, who was spending the most money, and when they were spending that money. So there's only a couple orders here, but I can just show you how this is going to work here. So store, and let's say click here, is going to open up all the orders from that store. This is just a single order, obviously, with some header information in there. If I click on the order number, it's going to open up that specific order, and then it tells me what they actually ordered. Right? Customer information is here, and everything you need to know about the order is here, right? So picture this too is, I do a lot of work that's we're just drilling down into the data, right? So we want to make this friendly for your users and then also easy to find the data. So picture a situation for you where you might have a customer, you open up a customer, you see all the equipment they have, and then you click on that piece of equipment, and you see the calibration history, and you click on a single calibration record, and so forth. And just keep drilling down into the data to see what you need to see. If I want to click on the customers tab, I think I actually had some functionality here too. Yeah, where I can open up a customer, and similar to how I just described, you open up a customer, you see their customer information, and then I see their order history as well, right? And again, of course, I can click on the order here and get into their order history, into the actual order. So again, for you, maybe this has a list of the equipment that you manage for them. We can open up the equipment, and then we might have a calibration history underneath, and then you can open up each history. On the reported side, I can show you this database here. This was a real simple IT help desk ticket kind of thing, and just wanted to show you some of the functionality in the reporting. This one was interesting because what we did here, we were able to record the comment history down below, and then if we open up the report, you'll see the report design here, able to add a backdrop image to it, and just, I guess, a little, I don't think it looks great, right, but it's, adds a little detail to it, or a little more pizzazz on the appearance, I guess. Right? But anyway, standard information here that you'd expect from an IT ticket, and then like I mentioned before, the prior comments window here. Right? So this just shows the history of a particular field, right? In this case, comments. Right? So they were going ahead and they would just go ahead and they would delete their comments actually, and put a new comment in place of it. And this just shows that it records all the histories for it, right? For this is a nice feature, perhaps for other fields if you want to make sure that information is not changing on you. But for comments and things like this, where you're going to have multiple comments, I prefer to put in a communication log instead. And then rather than delete comments, you just add into a history instead. Right? So there's a couple different ways to do that. I've got another one here. This actually was a pet massage place, if you could believe that. They wanted to keep track of the owners and the pets, and then have reports of which muscles they exercised, inspected, whatever it might have been, right? So here, just wanted to show you again the report. Clicking on this link, and I'm using this just as an example to show how easy it is to add graphics in there, change the design of the report, backdrops, whatever it is. So, I mean, this is basically how your certificates are going to be created, right? So if you have a backdrop, logos, pictures of the equipment you're calibrating, whatever it is, right? It's really not an issue to go ahead and put that on there. And I think you mentioned once that you had 2 different stamps depending on which certifications the facility had, whatever it was. Again, no problem to alternate one or the other. But anyway, this is another example of what a report may look like. And Nigel, another thing I should point out that we had capability here, and of course can do for you as well, is the automation to email the reports as well. So if I just click on the email link icon here, right, this will email the report to the customer. There's no header here because the customer doesn't have an email address in there, but if they did, it would show automatically who it was going to. And then you'll just see that the same report is automatically inserted into the email. So this is a quick way to send these out to your clients. You might, I think you said you're going to PDF these and probably have them somewhere else, but still, even if they're linked into the database, you can have a quick, mailbox icon to send something. It'll pull it from wherever location it has it and send it off to your client. Here's another one that was for a food bag manufacturer. This one looks a little more traditional to an ERP system. I'll show you again on the reporting. We had invoices for them with their logo on it. This looks very standard, like an invoice. Something you might want to consider. Once the job is complete, if you want to prepare an invoice for the customer, my guess though is that organization of your size, you probably have another way of handling this. But again, just another example of how we do our reporting. And then finally, Nigel, my favorite is the appearance of this whole thing. This is often where the wow factor is, and people like to have all their data organized, but if they can see a nice screen while they work, they're pleased to that as well. So this is a typical format I like to use, just a navigation bar on the left-hand side here. I can do this on the left, top, pretty much any way you want. We could just do menus across the top, whatever you want, right? But this is a K9 unit that I did for a police department, and so you'll see here we list all the officers, list our K9s here, and then they want to track the incidents and the trainings that those individual dogs go through, right? So basically what you have is a summary page for each of these tabs, and then if we want to drill down again into the officer information, we open that up, and then we have all the information that you need in that particular officer. Some extra features I like to add, of course, you see the backdrop of the form. We can add, remove pictures of the officers here. Same thing for the K9 units here. That's actually the K number here that open. Nope, the name opens up the record. And then if you open up the record here, you'll see that the incident record, this is all the incidents the dog was involved in, and these are the training records for a particular dog as well. Right? So what I really like to do is make sure that all the information as connected is available in an easy way to view. Right? I wouldn't want people to go into each one of these individually and try to remember what's on the screen before to link it up and such. Right? So everything is linked together so that you can see it in one picture, and we make best use of the screen to do that.